Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, welcome back to my space. This is Benjamin here, and in this video is my travel vlog. I couldn't do an intro video to the vlog back in Ghana, so I wanted to use this opportunity to do that. It's basically a continuation of my visa interview experience, so if you haven't watched that video yet, it is right here. You can click on it and then go and watch it. So this video is basically my travel vlog, my first international travel from Ghana to the US, and as an international student. So enjoy the video. I'll be doing a voiceover to the various videos that you'll be seeing, and then you get a clear understanding of what I went through to get to the United States. It was a fun experience. So yes, sit back and enjoy the video.
Alright guys, so here I was packing my stuff. My stuff were overweight, so I had to take some stuff out. I had to leave them on the bed. So eventually I left the house without having taken some of the things to with me to the airport. And this place, my family was making me laugh, and they were taking pictures and then videos, and then we took a couple of pictures together and everything of that sort. So it was my first time leaving home and traveling abroad. So yeah, it was just family time, and then it was very wonderful. It was so sad, emotions were all over the place and all of that, but it was nice. This was a picture we eventually took. Really. So I was on my way to the airport. This is Accra, and then all too soon we made our way to the Kotoka International Airport. I mean, I was very late, so there was no time for taking pictures and all of that. So we just had to go through immigration, and then yeah. At this point, I was at the duty-free area. I had gone through immigration. My aunties and my uncle had left. So they were like, hey, you're on your own now, be a man. I mean, I almost cried at that point, because that was the first time I've been left alone. But hey, it was time for me to go and explore. So I was at my boarding gate. If I haven't already mentioned, my flight was 33 hours, 4 flights in total. My first flight was from Ghana to Nigeria, and then we used the Africa World Airlines. We flew in from Accra, Ghana to Nigeria, and it was 1 hour. And then the other flight was from Nigeria to Qatar. The other flight was also from Qatar to Chicago, and then my final flight was from Chicago to Grand Rapids. So 4 flights in total, and then it was very smooth and successful. So this was my first flight from Ghana to Nigeria. And when we touched down in Nigeria, I was so excited, very much excited. We landed in Murtala Mohammed in Lagos, Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos, and it was a very great place to be at. So yeah, Murtala Mohammed Airport. I spent 5 hours over here, and then we had to board the flight. And you see the gentleman in yellow standing in front of the guy in black. He's called Jesse Ofori, and then he was like that guy. The guy really helped me so much. I think Nigeria immigration was like, I'm having a lot of bags. Meanwhile, Qatar Airways was like, I could carry all of these bags. So eventually he took one of my bags and then pretended as if it was his. And then yeah, he carried it for me. Thankfully, the people who were checking the boarding passes and then all of those things gave me a seat closer to him. He was going to Slovenia, and I was going to the United States. So we sat together in the flight to Qatar, and then it was nice to sit with a Ghanaian. At least it was very nice to sit with a Ghanaian. He was a great person. We exchanged contacts, and then we still are in touch anyway. So we found our seats, and then this is people trying to settle in, and all of that. The flight was huge. I think it was Boeing 777. Yeah, so all too soon we were flying away from Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos, and just enjoy the view. It was a very nice view. So I was watching previous videos on people's travel vlogs, and then everybody seemed to be complaining about plain food. Well, I enjoyed my food. I got jollof rice and then fried plantain with chicken, and I really enjoyed it. It was only one thing I didn't like, but then if I eventually ate everything. Don't mind my facial expression anyway. I enjoyed the food. You see that white thing over there? That white thing over there wasn't nice at all, but the cake was nice, the food was nice, and everything was nice. So yeah, it was terrible. That white thing was very, very terrible. I couldn't eat it. But then I finished the food. I drank the orange juice, and then yeah, it was very, very great. Just that white thing over there, I don't know what it was. It was so terrible. So as you can see from the map, we had done about 8 hours and some minutes, and we were almost getting to Qatar, Doha, Qatar. So yeah, we were almost getting to Qatar, and then here is when we were in the skies. The sky was very beautiful, a smooth flight. And then at this point, we were almost about landing. So this is where we touched down in Qatar. Qatar is so foggy. I think we got there during the in the afternoon, and it was very, very foggy. So you can see from the windows that the place was foggy. So we landed in Qatar safely, and then it was a very, very big airport. The airport was huge. But then the good thing was that there were shuttles that came for us, and then it transported us to our next boarding gate. So I got down and I sat in the shuttle, and then yeah, I just went to look for my next boarding gate, and I was making my way to the next boarding area. So at this point, I was still looking for my gate. I think when I found the gate, my next boarding gate, I had to go through TSA. They were doing lots of search, people were in line and all of that. I couldn't record because you cannot record at TSA. So I successfully passed through TSA, and then I was able to go to my next boarding area. So this is where I was waiting to board the flight from Qatar to Chicago. And then that flight was about 13 hours, which was a very, very long flight. The flight from Ghana to Nigeria was 9 hours. Nigeria to Qatar was 9 hours, and this was going to be 13 hours. So you can imagine. So yes, they called us to come and then start boarding, and then I was making my way to the boarding gate. Yes. So at this point, we had left Doha, and then we were making our way to Chicago. We were flying over, I think we were heading towards Europe, so you can see Barcelona over there, and it was 13 hours. This one was 13 good hours. Alright, so we were fed again, and this food was fantastic. I loved every bit of it. It was rice, chicken, and then orange juice, some nice cake, and then salad. It was very, very nice. I finished everything. I'm not even going to lie to you. And I was also very hungry, so you can see that I was eating the food like So at the point I got up to go and pee, but when I was coming back, I decided to take a video of the interior of the plane where we were all seated. Now we were almost making our way to Chicago. I think we were about some 3 hours or 4 hours away. And then we were flying over Canada or heading towards Canada, something like that. So yeah, that was us approaching Chicago. Yeah, so we were fed again, and then I still went in for rice. It was also very nice. I ate everything, and then I wasn't playing with the plain food because Charlie, we've paid for it. So at this point, I think we were flying over Canada, and then I could see Chicago was in sight. We were over Canada, and then Chicago was right in sight. So yeah, we're just waiting to enter Chicago and then land. Over here we had landed, but then I didn't want to get out because a lot of people had stood up, and then the place was crowded. People were trying to get out and all of that. So I decided to sit down and then wait for people to get out before I also make my way out of the plane. So eventually I got out, and then this is where we were all heading towards Customs and Border Patrol, popularly known as the port of entry. The port of entry, right? You can't go and mess up over there. If you mess up over there, you go back home. So I wasn't scared. I had everything in place, all my documentations I had, so I wasn't really scared. You could see that a lot of flights had landed, so the line at immigration was so long. The line at the Customs and Border Patrol was so long. It was a lot of people. I took a video so you would see it. It was a lot of people in line. So that was why I was expressing that a lot of people were at immigration. A lot of people.
but most of us were students because it was in August, and then students were coming in for school, so I could see people having their I-20s and all of that. So yeah, this is the video I took. You see, lots of people. So I went through the customs and border patrol area. I was asked 3 questions. Did I bring tobacco, illegal substances? I said no. And then they asked me, where am I going to stay on campus? It was just like another visa interview. So just let your answers be consistent. Okay. So I found my bags, I grabbed my bags, and then I left Qatar Airways. I got everything intact. So this is a video I took, and I informed my family back home that, hey, I've gotten to Chicago successfully. Now, Chicago is a very, very huge airport. Chicago O'Hare International Airport. I'm not even going to lie to you. It is a very big airport. What I'm not going to lie to you if I say I walked for like over 35 minutes just to look for my boarding gate. I had to sit in a train, I had to go here, I had to pass here. Like, it was a very long like distance from one point to the other. Over 30 minutes of walking. You can just see from my face, I was so tired. So guys, that was how I finally found my gate, and then this was my last flight from Chicago to Grand Rapids. So the flight was smooth. All the 4 flights was smooth, and then this was me in the plane. Waiting for the flight to move. It was just about 30 minutes flight from Chicago to Grand Rapids. So yeah, it was a very smooth flight, and then everything was great. Yeah, so here I was at my final destination, Grand Rapids, Michigan, West Michigan, where my school is located, Grand Valley State University. So I was making my way to the baggage area. So this is Gerald Alford International Airport, JRR. So I made my way to the baggage claim area, and then I had already contacted one of my good friends. I made a connection on LinkedIn, and then he was already at the airport waiting for me. I was communicating with him when I moved from Ghana, and then he was already at the airport waiting for me to, help me out, to take me to my home. So yeah, I'm in America. That was the 27th of August 2024, and it was one of the best experiences I ever had. After a long flight, I was finally in the United States of America. So yeah, I appreciate you all guys for watching up until this point. Thank you so much for watching.